Are you using something that you never tried before?
I tried a lot of different things. I was trash with almost every one of them. I did have more success with pistols this wipe than in previous wipes, although it's almost impossible to get decent 9mm ammo right now, which is I think problematic and maybe something they should look at changing for next wipe, because the only ammo you can really purchase is I think PSO. Even PST is locked, which is kind of wild. Um, but I've been using some Ketters. Ketters have been decent. I didn't used to be a Ketter person. I'm coming around on Ketters, especially pre level 15. How, what is your go-to early wipe loadout?
Like the moment you mentioned that even PST is now locked, I was like, maybe I should not have just deleted all my PST bullets after
No, no.
after loading into the new wipe.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing I did was just selling all the PSTs because I was like, yeah, I will just buy them later if I need that.
Oh no.
Yeah, maybe that. All right, now we should be live. Welcome. Thanks for joining, or like, thanks for having me, because actually it was your idea to set up this sort of a podcast. So yeah, I think like everybody coming from my community already knows this very famous guy. This is the Tarkov reporter himself. So I think you better introduce yourself. So because actually, like, to be honest, there's like not much that I know about you, except that like the content you're doing and that you're living very, very far away from me. So anything that I should know about you?
For sure. Hey guys, I'm Tarkov reporter. I am a former journalist in real life. Used to cover crime and politics before becoming a Tarkov reporter. In real life, I'm now a master of counseling student, so I'm going to be a therapist very soon. Be starting to do some actual IRL therapy work in about 6 months. So very excited for that career change. And I love this game, and we're gonna talk some early wipe EFT, and I'm very excited for it because I've been knee deep in the early wipe grind, and oh boy, it's been exciting. So you've been in the expansion. So tell me
A
about
couple
your
of times,
expansion
yeah.
experience. Okay.
It actually, I was forced to go to this expansion experience. I just spawned there as a scav. So apparently you can just, so this is a legit spawn as a scav player. And the first couple of minutes, I just thought that I misclicked the map selection screen and that I'm on reserve, because I spawned inside these buildings, and the assets they're using are exactly the same assets that I utilized on reserve. So I was like, damn, why am I on reserve? You have even these thingies under the tanks, like, you know, where you can go under like the mechanics thingies and so on. So all these assets from reserve are there, and was like, okay, it seems like I'm just on reserve. So wrong map, I guess. And then I just leave the building, see this miniature dome that looks exactly like the dome on reserve as well. I was like, okay, something's wrong here. And then I see the lighthouse. I'm like, okay, so probably this is the new region. And then a player kills me. So like,
Oh no.
So what about you?
My expansion experience, I've been a few times, and on one trip down there, I ran into rogues. I didn't realize that rogues actually spawned there. Like not the bosses, just regular rogues. And my first few trips there didn't run into them at all. But my most recent trip to the expansion, all of a sudden I hear some English voice lines and some chaotic running around. And the next thing I know, I'm getting flashbanged from this side and full sprayed from the other side. And well, needless to say, I was dead. So
That's kind of interesting. So I
was,
think how they do this is actually, as far as I understood, we have less rogues spawning inside the main area, and instead these additional spawns, right? So basically, if you have rogues on the island, you have less rogues on the like inside this water treatment center, right?
mm-hmm.
I think this is how it
Maybe.
should work at least.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, they definitely turned down the spawn rate of rogues at the water treatment plant. So maybe that's to balance that out.
Did
Could
they
be.
have a grenade launcher as well on the island, or just regular weapons?
I haven't seen it. They don't seem to have like set positions. They just, at least the one time I ran into them, they were just rotating around the courtyard like a
Okay.
bunch of chickens with their heads cut off. And
Like usual.
but as soon as they heard me, it was like scav spotted, and I was dead.
You know what the island is actually missing? An extract.
What's
I
that?
would love to have an extract
Yes.
because, you know, like the motivation to go and loot the island is kinda like for me, it's lowered by the fact that I have to go all the way back and cross this this choke point, this bridge, and being shot by campers. So if I would just be able to extract at this little dome, maybe like PSG, maybe just a suggestion, you know, you take the
Yeah.
assets from reserve, you take the miniature dome from reserve. Maybe you could have an extract where you use something like an axe and a paracord to extract from
Okay.
the island as well. Just
That's interesting. Or how about a boat that you have to pay for, like a car extract? I know car extracts are bugged right now, but like a boat of some sort, like smuggler's boat, but you actually have to pay for it. So you got to bring some cash on you. And it, like if someone else takes it, it's gone. Like you can't take it. Exactly like a car extract. I think that could be interesting.
I love this idea of having some sort of a boat. Maybe they could just have the same pier and the boat system like they have on, you know, on Shoreline, and have like a certain chance that this extract is open. So it doesn't have to be there every time, but maybe just once in a while. Well, why not? It will still like keep players going to this island, but it would make it way more fun, I guess. Something like that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I on one scav run, I spawned in with a M700 with a TAC 30 on it, and so I went to the mountain that overlooks the bridge, and I camped. I'm sorry. Okay, I camped the bridge.
Okay, this is the time to end the podcast. Thanks for being here.
Some unfortunate PMCs met their demise there. It was very sad.
So how did the very first raids feel to you? Like, what was the first thing that you actually noticed? Like when you just spawned?
Yeah. So. Very first thing I noticed were the new animations and the new sort of inertia feeling of it. At first, I was a little disoriented by like the head bobbing, but I've gotten used to it. And the animations look beautiful. I love them. Inertia feels much better than it did last wipe, and I think they've made some excellent changes in those regards. Those are the very first things I noticed. Like my friend and I, we did, I think, a shoreline run on our first run. We just sprinted to resort, and it felt really nice. Just watch your teammate run alongside you. Looked really good. Looked really clean. Yeah, I'm really happy with all the animation changes. They look great.
So how about you mentioned like this head wobbling? How like is it something that you get used to? Are you still noticing that?
Okay. I don't notice it anymore. I don't know how many raids I've played. I can check that really quick. Actually, I had the game open. I hit the flea market, so I've been playing a fair bit. I have 50 raids. I have not been playing particularly well, but I've played 50 raids, and I'm definitely used to the head bobbing system.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the first thing I noticed was audio. So I started sprinting, and I think it was Scav run with a cadder or something. And while sprinting, I was just swapping the fire modes, like single fire, auto fire, and they changed it in a way so because the running animations now include the weapons as well. The weapon is just, you know, it's somewhere like behind your left ear, somewhere like this. So the sound of like switching the fire mode is way more pronounced, and it just comes way more from a certain direction, like behind you. I was the first time I switched it was like, is there somebody else just switching the weapon? Because before the sounds of swapping the fire modes were always cast just in front of you. So it was always like the weapon is right in front of you. And now it's really like you're sprinting and the sound comes from behind because, well, the weapon is probably moving with you. So that's not too bad. And what else? Well,
So if you
inertia.
want the
Sorry.
sounds, let's stay with the sound for a
Yeah.
second though, because there's a lot of sound changes
Yes.
in the game. Like for example, dropping guns now makes a really obnoxious sound. It's super loud. If you drop a gun anywhere, someone's gonna hear it across the map. Uh, it's very loud, and also the metal stairwell audio changes, I think, need to get reverted immediately. For example, if you run up any of the metal stairs outside of the dorms on customs, the sound is basically non-existent. It sounds like you're walking on like plastic or something. I don't know. Maybe they changed the stairs to plastic stairs. Maybe they did some upgrades. I don't know, but it's not good. You can't hear it at all when you're inside. So someone can run right up the stairwell on customs dorms and you won't hear it at all. And they'll probably hear you inside looting. So need to really pay attention to that. The sound changes have, I think, been across the board okay, but that one in particular I'm not happy with.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think it depends on whether you're inside or outside dorms, whether you're using the staircase or if you're trying to defend yourself. So,
Sure.
but regarding like the sounds of dropped weapons, I saw a video of Axel today actually. He was checking out the new roofs on Lighthouse, and apparently there is a pretty long, like big metal stairs to get on top of this water treatment roof. And
Okay.
he was just looting a rogue and just decided to dismiss a weapon. So he just dropped the weapon. He was standing like at the very last piece of the stair, and he just dropped this weapon. And this weapon took all the steps back. So and the sound was played on each step the weapon actually hit the stairs. So it's like clong, 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 and that's like for 15 seconds. And it
Like a
was
slinky.
and it was like, imagine a nitrate. Everything is quiet, so nothing
Oh no.
else happened. They're like, clong, 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 clong. It just doesn't stop. So yeah, I agree. This might be a bit exaggerated. Also, like the new sounds, the new materials when you're stepping on wood, stepping on metal, and so on. They are like feels really good. So they are pretty cool. The only thing I don't like is you can like the game evolves, so you have a lot of progress in like in design, in audio, in models, and so on. Like if you take old design of the rigs and new design of the armor, you see progress in details and quality and so on and so on. And the same goes with this sound and sound capturing. So you have these new sounds, and they are way better in terms of quality recordings and playback compared to the old sounds. And this is kind of interesting because like, okay, this is a new sound, this is an old sound, this is new, this is old. So maybe they will like add or refresh the older sounds as well. That would be fantastic because the quality of the
Yeah.
sounds they have now, like all this stepping on metal and so on, this is really amazing. So this is really cool if they could maybe patch the older things as well. And it adds a lot to like to immersion because like as a side note, I'm also like working at a university doing like games research and so on. And like one of our research topics is basically how you simulate clothes, like the sound of clothing, the sound of steps, and so on, and how important it actually is. And I must say, Tarkov did an excellent job right now, right in this patch. So this is really outstanding, like how the steps sound and feel like. So that's pretty good. That's pretty realistic. And yeah, so no complaints at all regarding sound. What else to say regarding sound? I think we ticked off the most important things, but maybe you could just move on to lasers and lights
Okay,
because
yeah.
I think it's so unappreciated, but it adds so much. If you go out on a night raid, and don't know if you try it, but have you noticed how cool the flashlights now are at night? The behavior of flashlights now is completely different. So instead of just blinding the first 10 meters, they just go like in depth, so you actually can see everything. If you just go into like go to woods, take a flashlight, turn it on, you will see a lot. So like the quality is amazing and it really helps now. So I'm just tempted to go in at night and use my flashlight because it's so fantastic. So flashlights, 10 out of 10. I really love them. Not sure if you
Definitely.
try them. So
I have used a few flashlights on night raids and hadn't thought about it until you mentioned it, but really definitely an improvement over what I used to be. And I have not run night vision goggles yet, but I know that there has been a change to the way IR lasers and IR lights interact with night vision goggles, and that you need to have NVGs on in order to see those IR lights and IR lasers. So that's a really cool change that we'll probably notice more in the mid to late white period when more people are running night vision goggles in general. But yeah, the flashlight change is nice. I'm really enjoying it. Finished my pistol kills last night on Factory Night Raid with with a flashlight. That felt good, and it did. I think that the flashlight change is nice. It's definitely agree with that.
yeah, the are you using something that you never tried before?
I tried a lot of different things. I was trash with almost every one of them. I did have more success with pistols this wipe than in previous wipes, although it's almost impossible to get decent 9mm ammo right now, which is I think problematic and maybe something they should look at changing for next wipe, because the only ammo you can really purchase is I think PSO. Even PST is locked, which is kind of wild. Um, but I've been using some Ketters. Ketters have been decent. I didn't used to be a Ketter person. I'm coming around on Ketters, especially pre level 15. How, what is your go-to early wipe loadout?
Like the moment you mentioned that even PST is now locked, I was like, maybe I should not have just deleted all my PST bullets after like
No, no.
after loading into the new wipe.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing I did was just selling all the PSTs because I was like, yeah, I will just buy them later if I need that.
Oh no.
Yeah, maybe that. Okay,
no.
that like happens. I haven't played it much. I'm still like level 6 or 7 maybe.
Okay.
I tried. What did I try? I tried the AKMs just to see if PS like the. I think the pen was increased by a couple of points, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep. Yeah, it
wanted to
wasn't a
see-
huge buff, but
um,
it. I think that AKMs could be pretty decent
yeah,
in the early
yeah.
white period. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
they just closed the gap, I think. So the 1st thing I actually noticed is that you don't have people at all running full auto weapons, which is maybe because of how the last wipe was. Because I don't know why, but last wipe everybody was just like, nah, just recoil is just so bad. We need to tap people instead, and auto fire just disappeared. Maybe for a reason, maybe not. Maybe like there's no black and white, I guess. And now, like, what I actually miss is, you go to customs, like last wipe, you load into customs on day 2, and 10 seconds into the raid, you just hear all the cheap SMGs and AKMs go full auto. and this just does not stop at all. Now you have like, okay, this is a pistol, this is a shotgun, this is a single fire something, this is an SKS, but where's the full auto fun? Come on, guys, we need to go out and just shoot in the air like it was before. Like I always imagine Tarkov, like the first week of Tarkov, and the whole region of Norvinsk being covered in dust because of all the ammunition being shot in the air.
Oh my god!
But yeah, I just
Talk about
miss
deadly
that.
toxins. We don't even need a pre-wipe event for that.
Yeah, maybe they kind of reverted it. Like maybe this was the reason for the pre-wipe event. Yeah,
Maybe,
could be.
yeah.
But yeah, what did I use? Pretty usual stuff that I had, like AKMs, the PP19s, because I had 2 mags full of PSTs. Now I don't have them anymore, but it was pretty good. The SKS, so nothing unusual actually. I tried this single shot cheap Mosin version.
Oh yeah, how was
once. like at least my chat knows that I'm not a huge fan of like old fashioned World War I and two guns in such
Yeah,
like modern
me
games. So
neither.
so the second I get a Mosin, like I spawn with a Mosin, I just discard it because I refuse to play with these guns. And I think this new gun takes my hate for such equipment one step further. It's like, okay, that's terrible. That's like, so I take my words back. I'll rather run a Mosin than the new gun. So, and that says a
Okay.
lot. So
Yeah. Wow.
it, I
Okay.
think it counts as a shotgun, right? It is not a sniper rifle,
Really?
so could be. Yeah, not sure. It's the MP19, MP18, right? Um,
Yeah.
Let me check Tarkov
It
MP18 because if it's in the yeah, it's in the shotgun category, so it actually means that you can use it to complete shotgun kills on certain maps. So okay, I guess maybe it's fun. So that's also like a thing that I think most players don't realize, but pretty interesting. So that's a shotgun, right? It counts as a shotgun.
that's kind of nuts. I had no idea.
Yeah, yeah. Like
I
use
really
this
want
info.
to try the new shotgun that's in the game, the actual new shotgun, the Benelli M3 Super 90 that has both semi and pump action. It reminds me so much of I think it was a Benelli M4 that John Wick was using in John Wick 2. I don't know if you're a John Wick fan, Crane, but I love those movies. And the scene of him with the shotgun in the underground area, oh, it gets me fired up every time. I love that. I love that movie. And
So
that shotgun is a thing of
okay.
beauty. I want to see if I can recreate some of that with that
So
shotgun.
why can't you buy it? Is it available from Jaeger or is it locked behind like a higher level? Because if you're level 15, pretty sure you can buy it on the flea market right now.
Yes, I have not really explored the flea market
Ah,
too much yet. I will double check right now what it's going for. Probably not that much. Vanilla M3 Super 90. It's going for 80K to 100K. There aren't many on the flea market.
yeah,
It's
maybe too many John Wick fans out there.
it's if you get to Jaeger level 3, you can buy it from Jaeger for 40K rubles. So and you can buy 5 of them per reset. Oh, I'm gonna have
Hmm.
fun with that when I get to level 3. That's gonna be fun.
Okay, so according
So
to the price tag and to the trader level, it must be better than the MP 153 and 155, right? So it should be
mm,
pretty good.
I
Just
would think
wondering
so. I would
why.
think
So,
so. It's
hmm.
yeah, it's probably similar to the 590, um, but it's a little more expensive than that. So we'll see. I'm really looking forward to running it. I need to level up a little bit more. I need to get to level 22 to run that. That
Today,
should be fun though. I don't think I can get there today, but I will get there soon. We'll get there soon. It'll be my goal in life to run that shotgun.
like you stream for like 7, 8 hours straight, and you play Tarkov in this period of time. How do you do that? Like mentally and physically, how is it
That's
possible?
actually a major struggle for me. I normally will only stream for like 6 hours a day, and usually only 3 days a week. Um, and I am so jealous of the people who can do 8 to 10 hour streams because my mental health after doing an 8 to 10 hour stream is in the toilet. I am a mess, especially playing this game where you're getting absolutely destroyed raid after raid after raid, and it never stops. So I really need to I think that not enough Tarkov players focus on self care. I'm a big mental health advocate. Obviously, we're studying to become a therapist. Um, so I go for walks. I get a lot of exercise. I touch grass. I
Yes,
think
like
that a lot of Tarkov gamers could benefit from that in their life.
on a serious note, I think like this is my very personal opinion on that one. I think Tarkov is indeed mentally challenging and can have
Yes.
a severe impact on your psyche, on your mood,
Mhm.
on your life. So sometimes if you have like very bad raids in the evening, you don't sleep well because your brain keeps recreating the scenarios and you rethink the situations, and then you wake up tired and angry and so on and so on and so on. And so things like these have a lot of impact on your life, and I would just want to have like more information and more more how do you call it, if like I just want BSG to add some banners and some things that Blizzard did in a while, like don't forget to drink water, don't forget to make pauses and so on and so on, like some sorts of advice, because people like in our society, people can't handle such things on themselves in some cases. So like many people are so obsessed and so so attracted by the game because it's so immersive, that they just lose track on such
Yes.
easy things. And I think especially in the case of Tarkov, we need to have some mechanics to remind players that they should take care of themselves. And so if you're done, maybe you can just work at BSG and fix that, please.
I don't know what
Just-
they can do to do that, but I think that we as players can advocate to like take breaks and give yourself a day off. Do something different for 30 minutes. Eat healthy food, drink water.
You guys, you hear Tarkov Reporter.
Yeah.
So big shout out to all the streamers, all the professional streamers doing like 24-hour streams, 8-hour streams.
Take care of yourself.
Please, take care of yourself. But you know what? You're old enough. You know what you're doing in most cases. But just remind your audience that playing Tarkov like 8 hours straight without any pause and suffering is not something that one should do like for a prolonged period of time. So just remind your audience to take care of yourself, because if nobody does, then it's our our duty to do that, because people are watching our streams. So we need to talk about this from time to time. So thanks for actually mentioning this aspect, and glad your future job will be connected to this one, because this is very overlooked, I think.
I agree. It's super important, and I hope more people take time to take care of themselves, especially in the early light period when you want to. Everybody's so focused on not falling behind. I have some friends who are like worried about falling behind, and I try to impress upon them that it's not like you're only up against yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people. It's hyper rat and people who are grinding like 24 hours a day. Don't compare yourself to them. This is what they do for a living, and they're really good at it. And not everyone is capable of that, and especially if you have a full-time job on the side that you're doing, or maybe you're a full-time student, or whatever it is that's going on in your life. Make sure that you don't lose sight of those things, as you've mentioned. It's it's so important. But let's get back into the early wipe gameplay. I want to ask you about your level 6. Have you tried any of the quests yet? Have you completed any of the quests? Are you having trouble finding things? What are you looking for?
I played my PMC is level 5 or 6. My Scav is level 6 or 7, so I have way more Scav runs and Scav experience. So I have a professional Scav out there. The first thing I realized is gas analyzers are not unique anymore. So in the first 2 raids, I got like 2 gas analyzers. I was like, first raid, gas analyzer. And I was posting on Instagram like, guys, look how lucky I am. And I'm like, second raid, second gas analyzer. Guys, look how lucky I am. And they're like, okay, maybe it's not just a coincidence. Let's ask people. And then just other goes like, I found like 3 on my first raid. I was like, okay, let's delete the story. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know
so
anyone right now who's struggling for gas analyzers.
yeah, what else do we have? I mean, Salivas, I found, I guess, one Saliva as a scav, but I managed to construct my med unit in my hideout already, even without playing it as a
Nice.
PMC. So I was able to craft a second Saliva because I can't do a third one because they changed the requirements. You need a car kit now, so which you don't have. So it's like way more difficult than it was for crafting. But other than that, I feel like the grind for the basic items is kind of well balanced. So I find everything that I need, like, screws and bolts and iskras and emelias and tushonkas and so on. So it seems to be, I don't like, yes, it's balanced. So it feels
Yeah.
balanced. It's not like you get 100 iskras and only one emelia. It's just you have all you want. So I think it's very well balanced. So no
I
struggles at
totally
all.
agree. Yeah, I totally agree. I'm happy with where the in previous wipes it would feel like if you needed something, it was removed from the loot pool and it was non-existent in your raids. Now it feels like if you need something, you have a pretty good chance of finding it if you know where to look for it. And even if you don't know where to look for it, you'll randomly stumble across it in a duffel bag. It's the loot right now seems to be, as you mentioned, really balanced. Although there's one aspect of loot that's really, I think, really hurting people on the quest side and just in general, and that's keys. I am having trouble finding certain keys like dorms 114, dorms 220. I I really need those keys to move past certain quests, and I'm struggling. And because we can't share keys as easily as we used to, it's meaning that if you have some good RNG and you get one of those keys, you're flying past other people who haven't had that good RNG, which I think is maybe something BSG needs to look at with these changes they've made to keys, because some people are getting quest locked
Mhm.
and other people are just flying past them because they had some good luck. Which I don't know, is that really something that we want to be part of the game or not? I'm not sure. I think it needs more discussion, because this key change is really massive with not being able to drop them for your friends.
Early wipe feels to me like sometimes, especially if you wanna get like your levels up as fast as possible, and if you want to progress as fast as possible, you sometimes feel left behind just because you don't have the luck to find a specific item. Like, it could be a saliva, it could be a key, and then your friend is already 2 levels above you because he found it as or like
Yeah.
he spawned as a scav with it, and this feels not fair at all. And this, like, everything comes back to the idea of like what is the ideal like progress speed that battle state wants us to have. And I think they want us to progress way slower than we do, and they
Sure.
try to limit it in certain cases. So they try to like remove critical items last patch. Okay, that's probably just a bug because they swapped the chances between GPUs and gas analyzers, but can happen. But at least they try different ways how we can be slowed down so that we would enjoy the early wipe experience more. Because this is, like, to be honest, that's one thing that I don't understand about Tarkov community. Everyone agrees that early wipe is the best, the best time to play Tarkov, the best feeling of all, right? And you know where I'm heading to. Like, so everybody loves early wipe, and everybody says, please wipe, we want to have this amazing early wipe experience. As soon as the wipe drops, everybody's grinding like crazy to get max traders as
Yeah.
fast as possible. And this blows my mind. I just
Yeah.
don't get it.
You ask, you beg for this thing that you want so badly, and then you grind your way through it in 3 days. And then you're like, give content, BSG, give me content. And yeah, we play too much at the start of a wipe. And I think that, it lessens it decreases your opportunity for that experience.
Yeah, and
I don't know. Yeah, and we asked them to extend the early wipe period when we could just extend it by not playing 24 hours a day.
And I mean, reducing the spawn chance for keys is one of the easiest measures to slow down the wipe progress, because if you can't control your progress because you need something where you need some luck, for instance, you need certain luck to find item X or Y and Z, and once you reach a critical mass of such items, you just think, okay, like I can't really influence how fast I'm going for the quest, so I just chill and enjoy the early wipe. Maybe this is the feeling where they want us to get to.
Maybe.
And but then you need, to reduce everything that is, or like make everything way more random, or maybe just an idea, lock some quests behind crafts that take you 1 week or 2 weeks. Maybe
Oh, that's
maybe having
interesting.
some unique items, and you need 1 week to complete them, and there's no way for a shortcut.
I
So
like that.
this would
I think that's a
solve
really good idea.
this would solve all the issues with people rushing to max traders and cap after a week. They would hate me for that, but this is
Yeah.
something that's a game design element that works in every game. So this is, if you want to have control progress, you need to include an element that takes a fixed amount of time. If we have a hideout, we can include the craft, and we're done.
So again, if you
So-
want to blame someone for that change, twitch.tv/craned is who you would blame for that change. Send all of your hate mail to this man right here.
Yeah, just contact@craned.com. I have a pretty decent spam filter. That's
There's a bunch of new quest changes as well, like the debut quest. I know you posted about on Twitter and on social media. Where you can kill scavs not only on customs but all over the Tarkov territory. That's pretty good, I think, which I think led to people playing more other maps on the first day of wipe. I was noticing the lobbies on other maps were a lot more full, and customs wasn't just billions of people in the lobby, which I think is a nice change.
amazing.
And there's a bunch of other quests that were coming across more and more, like people are unlocking Shooterborn in Heaven. You need 125-meter kills for that. And they added Lighthouse to the list. So that's a change. There's a whole bunch of other things that have been changed that have been come across as players start to unlock things. Like, for example, BP ammo is no longer unlocked by Punisher Part 5. We don't know where that's been moved to down the quest line. There's a little bit of speculation that it might be Grenadier, because PS12B is now unlocked by Punisher Part 5, which used to be Grenadier. So maybe those two got swapped, and 76239 BP is now a little further down the line. We'll see. A lot more to unpack as we learn more about these quests. But I think so far the quest changes are good. I'm interested to see how Shooterborn changes with it being 125 meters, though. That's it's not I don't know, it's not significant, but it's going to change some certain spots where you would normally sit for Shooterborn. You might not be able to get it at that spot anymore.
Yeah, honestly, I think this change had probably like two main reasons. First reason is this change eliminates the duels between, like, on customs, between the fortress and the crack house, because these were 113 meters, and between fortress and skeleton, or however you would call that. So you don't have these sniping duels anymore because they are not 125 meters. That's like reason number one. And reason number two is that's a perfect change for all the content creators, because they can now just redo all the guides and videos how to do the 125 meter kills. And this is amazing, VSG. Thank you. So not that I'm going to do some videos, but like, creators will love that. So that's amazing. That's like one slight change, one number changes, and you can do like 10 new videos.
Brand new YouTube video.
That's amazing. Guys, come on. That's probably the main reason for the change, but why not? Having quests like these, like Shooterborn in Heaven, is one of these quests that is amazing if you don't rush it, if you just, enjoy the game, and it will happen. Like last wipe, I didn't try to complete it, but I ended up doing this just by occasion. So you don't have to like try hard if you don't want to. It just happens. So more of these, background quests would be amazing. Like quests that you complete at a certain time and then you go like, oh, cool, I just completed, like some suffering for Jaeger because I had no hands and no legs while killing a PMC or something like that. But maybe different tasks, not Jaeger. Okay, so maybe something else.
Yeah,
But
I know there's definitely some new quests in the game that people I don't think have reached yet. I would bet related to the Lighthouse expansion. I'm really excited to explore that more and see what those quests are. And definitely there will be a quest to kill the new bosses. Not Big Pipe, Knight, and Bird Eye as part of that quest line of killing all the bosses. That will be a difficult. That will be. I don't know how easy that'll be, but I'm betting not at all easy.
so
Because my first interaction with the bosses on Woods was me not seeing or hearing Bird Eye and him putting M993 through my ear. But the Scav bunker on Woods. So good luck to you at the Scav bunker on Woods in the small chance that they do spawn there.
Sorry.
Yet again, BSG using pre-wipe events to test things that are coming in the next wipe. So the rogues being one of those things, the airdrops being one of those things. Events more often than not are being used to test things that are coming to the game, which is really interesting. So keep that in mind as we see more events this wipe and start thinking about what might be coming to the game in the future and how those two things relate, because we might be able to connect the dots and maybe see, well, how this relates to what's coming to the game in the future. Maybe streets also, because they had said they want to roll out streets in the fall, or at least the first iteration of it. So that would be very exciting. I would be very excited for that. Give me streets. Come on, Nikita. Give it to me.
So you want to have, okay. So you want to have streets and arena in the same wipe.
Yes. Give it all to me right now. I want it just get it in my veins. I'm ready.
You're
I'm ready,
crazy.
Nikita.
So Nikita, please keep streets until streets should be a Christmas gift. Let's keep it until Christmas. Next Christmas, not this Christmas. Next year.
You mean 2023 Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Crane. We can't wait that long.
I think so. I literally see no reason to put it out this way because we already have arena, and I'm not sure what to think about arena. We had a little chat on the impacts of arena because players like non-Tarkov players coming to the game, how this will change the dynamics, how this will will the community become more toxic, how will it change our playstyle, and so on and so on. So I don't know what will happen, and I don't know if arena is something good or bad for the community that we have. So it definitely will change up these things that we're used to. It will change our community because it will have a great influx caused by all the, let's say, esports oriented and competitive players out there. Mm-hmm. So it will change the community. Yes. I don't know how. Maybe it will be way better, maybe not. Who knows? But it will have some significant changes. And then having maybe half a year to get all the toxic guys off Tarkov, and then we can release streets next Christmas. How about this?
It could be very toxic. You're right. But I don't know. Will the toxic people stick to arena? Will they go to streets? Will they even pay for the game? Right? Because arena is going to be separate. They might not bother paying for the base version of the game. They might just get the arena version. I'm not sure those toxic people will want to spend the money and invest the time that's required to get into the actual Escape from Tarkov game. Maybe they will.
I mean, we are talking about people paying hundreds and hundreds of euros a week for like Valorant and CS:GO and
You're
League of
right.
Legends
Yeah.
skins for weapons,
Yeah.
for just cosmetics.
Mhm.
Who knows? But I don't think they will stay like long, because they will play it and they will figure out that it feels strange and slow and too realistic, and they won't like it and they will quit. And these who will like it will eventually try out the real Tarkov and love it as well, and like improve and increase the diversity of the community, which is amazing. So I'll be optimistic, but yeah, I don't expect streets this wide. It would be way too much. Speaking of pain, scav tasks, daily scav
Yeah.
tasks.
Yeah, that's new
Have
info.
you
You need the
unlocked
intel
them?
center. No,
So
because you need the intelligence center to get there. Which I think I'm. Let me double check my hideout right now. I don't think I'm available to upgrade yet. Although I have seen a friend of mine sent me a tweet the other day, or sent me a message that you get PMC XP for
oh,
doing those scab tasks. So that's interesting. I thought you might get Scab XP for it, but apparently you get your PMC XP. So I just need to make my vents. Oh, that's okay. I can have this up pretty quickly then.
oh wow,
I just
okay.
need to get my vents done, which I think is like a bunch of car batteries. Let me check that. Yeah, car battery, motor, um, metal spare parts, CPU fans. Oh, that's easy. Okay. Yeah, I can probably have that up by the end of the day or something, or at least constructing by the end of the day. Yeah.
And
So
these are similar tasks to what we know from the operational tasks for PMCs, right? Fetching items. Well, killing scavs doesn't really work, so it's probably killing PMCs then.
I would bet. Yeah, I would bet it's killing PMCs. The one I saw was extracting. So my friend had to extract twice on factory, and he got, let's see, 5,000 XP for it, and also 185 euros. He also got increased fenced rep and a couple of other random items. So the XP is pretty good in terms of daily quests. Most of my daily quests have been less XP than that, and not. I mean, they haven't been that difficult. My daily quests so far have been like survive once on shoreline, or hit 5 scav headshots, something like that. So not very difficult so far. But the XP hasn't been as good as this. I'll take 5K. That's pretty decent. Yeah, so I think that this is a nice change to the game, an additional XP bonus. I'm not sure why they've made it PMC XP though. Maybe it's because there's no reason to level your scav at the moment, aside from just having a higher level scav in general. Maybe in the future there could be a reason to level your scav. I know they have like a Scav Life DLC planned. I don't know if that's going to interact in some way with the main game, and that could maybe there's going to be a reason down the road to level your scav, which I would love to see.
It might be, like at level 46, the amount of XP you get for operational tasks like rapidly increases. And this is the point in time where nobody scavs anymore. So maybe it will provide like a chance and opportunity for the high level players to hop back into some scav raids and try to enjoy such casual scav runs again, so that we would have just because completing it, or just imagine the task you get as a scav at level 46 is, I don't know, maybe like killing 3 PMCs on factory. Let's take this pretty random task. That's what we get as PMCs anyway. So kill 3 PMCs on factory, and you will be rewarded with like 40k XP. And you go like, why not? So
it's pretty good.
And then you have, well, this is a challenge because you spawn with a scav gun. You spawn with, just imagine this new shotgun, this single shot Mosin something. Just better take out your knife probably. So you spawn with something bad, and you need, so you kind of, it's like early wipe 2.0. So you have all these early wipe experiences again, and this could be quite motivating. So I would love to see that actually, because like honestly, I scav a lot until level 20, 30, or like until I max my hideout, because if I play PMC, I die and then I have no money. If I scav, I get some money, and so that's how things work for me. But then again, after everything is just maxed, I don't play Scav at all anymore because it's like pointless. And but such a challenge like kill 3 PMCs on factory, or maybe something like I don't know. Well, yeah, extracting with the PMC as well. Like having these, for instance, use the co-op extract on Lighthouse, because right now these quests are just one-sided. So we have these quests for PMCs, and we need the same quests for scavs as well, so the guys could unite and like extract together. We had it like in one event. Probably remember it last wipe, I guess. There was such an event where you got like scav karma increase for like +1 point for every time you get such a coop extract done. So something like that. I don't know, but scav tasks is definitely one of the best changes, I think. Like, who knows? So. So what do you think about the whole nerfs? Now that we talked about the buffs, let's talk about the nerfs.
You mean the skills, the
Yes.
skill nerfs? Yeah, okay. So for those who don't know, there were 3 particular skill nerfs, in particular strength, perception, and metabolism. We'll start with strength, and that being in the past when you had max or elite strength, your armor, your helmet wouldn't count towards your weight. And so you'd be walking around with the heaviest kit in the world and you'd be 13 kilograms. And as opposed to, usually you'd be like 35 or 40. And so that was a major advantage for people who had leveled their strength all the way to maximum. And it was a lot of fun as someone who was a max strength enjoyer at the end of last wipe. I had a lot of fun just bunny hopping around, doing all sorts of weird parkour stuff with crazy heavy kits. And it was a lot of fun. But now, so your armor and your helmet will count normally. The only things that won't are the weapons you've got equipped. So whatever's in your 1, your 2, and your 3 slot as weapons will still not count towards your weight. But you're going to be heavier with max strength now. You probably, I don't think it will significantly impact you that much. I think, as you mentioned to me before we started the podcast, you probably just won't be able to carry as much loot. You might need a mule again. But I think it's a good change. I'm sad that I won't be able to run around with like a Zabralo and Ash 12 and a Riz-T and do all the parkour stuff. But you probably could still pull it off. I think you could probably still pull it off. How do you feel about this change, Crane?
The strength. I just try to remember if I ever had lead strength. Yeah, I think I did. Like the very first, I started playing last year in January. So this is my 4th wipe now. In my first wipe, I kind of, I was kind of excited to try out all the things. So I think I got the lead strength. I did Kappa as well. Never tried to do it again, but was this vibe when you think like let's try to complete the game until you realize that's just suffering forever, and so yeah, just trying to remember how it was back then with the lead strength. Yeah, it was fun, but like now I think so. I like all the changes, all the nerfs from the perspective of like more casual players. So that's like at least most of my audience, like based on the content I do, is rather like beginners or like intermediate players that try to understand how the game works and not like just optimize the way to Kappa. So I think for us it's pretty good because it kind of removes these very, very, very experienced and enthusiastic players from their posts and put them more on the ground, so on your eye level. So it should feel more like you have a chance fighting these guys. Maybe, I don't know. So it feels fair to us, but I totally understand if like players on the other side who love all these features are now just like, nah, I want to have it back, and so on and so on. So yeah, I see both sides. I don't think strength will change a lot, though. I think perception is what would have the most impact. Just, like in the wipes before, we had the situations where an elite, like somebody with perception on elite, could hear you like meters and meters and meters before you can actually hear them. And this is not fair. And this is just a situation that is just, that is in Tarkov, sound is crucial. And having such a crucial advantage, like having a sound advantage in Tarkov like this, is very overpowered in my opinion. So having this nerfed, I think this is a nerf that is long overdue.
I agree. And so for those who don't know, they changed perception skill so that your hearing radius increases by 0.3% now per level, as opposed to in the past, it was 0.7% per level up to 35%. So someone with elite perception before had a 35% wider hearing radius. Now they've capped it at 15%. So 20% less, which is huge. And again, people will be hearing you a lot less sooner than they would have in the past. I think that's huge. And as you mentioned, for all the reasons you've mentioned, I think it's a great change. How in real life do you improve your hearing like that? I don't understand. I feel like my hearing gets worse the more I live. So I feel like as a PMC, maybe your hearing should just get worse, especially with the fact that you're shooting all these loud weapons.
That's not a big deal. It's not about shooting the weapons, but just imagine having airdrops at least once a day. Like imagine having these airdrops. Like your hearing should be at 0 after one wipe, because like the volume of these airdrops, like before they were patched, now it was just insane. So yeah, I totally agree. So I think I also think like just another idea, BSG, if you want to have your game your style, slow and steady, without too much of shift W chatting around and so on and so on and so on, what you obviously dislike because of all these changes, just an idea. What you can do is you can introduce negative perks. So by playing the game and by leveling up, you will have certain skills that provide you negative perks. Like your PMC gets older, he gets more and more damaged, like hearing impairments and so on and so on and so on. So you don't have to have just positive skills. You can have negative skills as well. And then you could impact, or you could have somebody who plays like 2k hours a wipe. He would have like 0 hearing distance after that or something like that. It would be harsh, but he would be able, believe they would be able to compensate it with their experience. So not a big deal at all. They will still headshot you, but they won't hear you coming.
Yeah.
That's the difference, right?
100%. You will still lose those fights, but you will hear them before you die. Let's finish off with there's one other skill change that we didn't mention.
Yeah.
That's the metabolism change. It's not a huge one, but when you have 0 hydration and 0 energy, you won't receive any thirst or hunger damage, but you get other negative effects. In the past, that hadn't been the case. So I think it's more of a fix than anything. So at elite metabolism, you're going to have other negative effects, as opposed to the thirst or hunger damage effects that you shouldn't get normally when you have elite metabolism. But you're still going to have to eat something now when you have that 0 energy, 0 hydration. It probably won't kill you, but you probably won't be able to gain any stamina or anything like that. Would be my impression of it. I don't know if anyone's reached elite metabolism yet. I bet you there are some people who are very close, if not there yet. But I'm certainly nowhere close myself.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think metabolism levels way too fast. And it's kind of a shame because all this like this bodily management that we could have in Tarkov, like managing your energy, your water, and so on, it can be really amazing. So it adds a lot of atmosphere to the game. You know, taking snacks into the raid, going on for a picnic with friends, drinking a vodka in a fortress, and so on. This adds to this to what we love in Tarkov. And if you remember the heat event when you could not survive for a couple of minutes, just it was a dehydration event. I think it was called the dehydration event last wipe or the wipe before. It was implemented that your water consumption increases and you are at zero water, like at zero water level after like 10 minutes, so you need to drink a lot. And people went crazy during this event because now we need to take water with us, and water was so expensive, and so on and so on. And all these things, like these little things like having food and water and so on and so on, this is amazing. And being able to level it up so fast kind of ruins the experience. Like it lasts for maybe 1 month, maybe 2 months. And even myself, like the first, like the only and first skill I get to elite is metabolism, and pretty fast, just because every time I pop a golden star or I eat something or something else, it increases my metabolism skill. And that's really easy to level. So I wouldn't mind making this one way more harder. And how cool it would be, like just imagine your favorite chat streamers on labs having the intense fights of their life and just dying of dehydration mid-fight.
That would be funny to watch.
That would be funny to watch. And
people would be mauling and their minds would be melting so much if that happened. Oh my god. I'm happy with where this wipe is going. We'll see as it progresses, though. There's lots of wipe left, people. It's probably 6 months as per usual, so we got lots of time left. Don't rush yourself. You got plenty of time.
There's no such thing as being left behind.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Also, like even experienced players go like, okay, this wipe I will play slowly and chill and enjoy the game. And hey, wait, my friends and other streamers have flea market already unlocked. Maybe I should like hurry up because I don't want to be behind the curve. They will have better weapons. They will kill me, and so on and so on and so on. And just try to enjoy it, and you'll be fine.
Absolutely.